Hello, 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 hello. This is episode 8, bitch, you know that I ate with episode 8, hey. I said it's episode 8, welcome back to the episode you made, okay. I don't know what I just said, but I don't care, okay. Anyway, I don't even know why I'm still freestyling, and anyway, welcome to the 8th episode of the Zoom Out podcast. My name is Vaughn Baptiste. I am hoping that you guys have been enjoying every one of these episodes. I sure as hell have been enjoying making them and giving them out to you guys. So I would like for you guys to go ahead, rate this show 5 stars if you haven't already. Go under this podcast episode and see whatever type of poll it says and just rate, like not rate, but go and answer the poll so I can get some feedback from you guys. That would be much appreciated. I want to talk about a problem that I have and I've had this entire time while I was attending college, and that is self-motivation. My self-motivation is not the greatest. Now, I will say that in terms of this podcast, I have tried my best to kind of be on top of it for the 8 weeks that I've been recording these episodes. And I feel like I've been doing pretty good. Because even as I'm recording this right now, about 50 minutes ago, an episode just came out. So you guys will hopefully be listening to that one. And on that one, it's literally just me talking about my reaction to the election and obviously my thoughts on that. Sorry if you guys weren't expecting me to give that much information about how I felt about it, but it was just because during the situation or during that week that it was happening, I genuinely was not having a good time. I will be honest with you. I will be honest and say that I was struggling on that Wednesday to even get out of my room because I was just upset, super upset, and I didn't really know exactly how to get that anger or those emotions out. So I used that episode just to get some of that out. And I felt like it was a good way for me to do that. And I appreciate anyone who decides to listen. But back to the topic at hand, I have an issue with self-motivation. And it's an issue that I've had for quite some time now, about 4 years. Actually, I'm not even going to lie to you. I feel like it's been longer, actually, because I don't know. I get so gung ho. All right. So I will say that maybe at the start of the semester, right, at the start of the semester, I had a pretty good gauge of how exactly I wanted to do things. And I was able to just be quick with my guns and be good for the start of the semester. I'm talking a month in, I was doing pretty good. And that was all fine and dandy. But by the time it got to, I would say 2-3 weeks ago, man, I have not been super self-motivated to do a lot of things. I realized that instead of me going to work on the weekends and doing my assignments, I've been lackadaisical in that. For my capstone, I will 100% admit that I have not been staying on top of it as much as I need to, and I hate that. And then on top of that, it's just been the thought process of wanting to be done with all of this, and that's been a thing for all of these years. So that I'm not surprised that has came, and it's honestly normally around this time when it would happen. And then I realized, oh my God, it's the last week of the semester and I have done nothing. Let me start working as much as I can. And I guess that's where my self-motivation comes in. But to be honest with you, I haven't really been self-motivated in a large way of looking at it. So I mean, I didn't really do a bunch of research on it. I kind of just did a quick Google search for you guys, and I guess this was also be for myself, and just wanted to see what ways that we could actually get better at it. And just with a quick Google search, let's Let's start off obviously with the definition. Self-motivation is the ability to be driven to complete tasks and achieve goals without needing to be prompted by others. It's an important skill that can help you be more productive, creative, and also less stressed. And honestly, less stressed might be the thing that I need to be the most out of all three of those things. No, creative is definitely on top of there, but still, you guys get what I'm saying. It also gives us a couple tips. Taking breaks it says break tasks into smaller chunks, meaning dividing your work into 30 to 60 minute segments with breaks in between. And I believe that will probably help, because when you are trying your best to get something done and you're just sitting on it for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, I feel as if it would be good for you to at least during that time just take a break and like breathe for a little bit. Like that whole thing I've been talking about, where it's just being patient with yourself and just take 5 minutes or something like that. But so dividing work into 30 to 60 minute intervals would be probably good. Definitely with maybe like 2 to 3 minutes, 5 minutes of just breaks, which would be good. I think I'm going to try my best to get on that and do pretty good with that, it'll help. And I implore you guys to, while I'm explaining all of this, you guys definitely go ahead and write some stuff down while I'm talking, and you guys just get the information as well. The second tip that they give is prioritize. And that means tackle the most difficult task first at the first time of the day. So if you have a feeling that you have a bunch of stuff to deal with, try your best to tackle like the most important thing at the very, very start, so that once you get that big task out of the way, you will be able to just get it done and go on to the next thing. And all of those other things will take not as long as amount of time. And also that big thing will be done. So like in an instance, like I believe I have a lot of certain assignments that I do have to do, but I feel like the main thing that I need to worry about is the capstone. And I know as a fact that I'm going to need to hone in all of my focus on that first and get the bulk of those assignments done, so I can stay on stay on top of the assignment, and number two, stay on top of my passion project, because that's what it is. And to remind you guys, it's basically the capstone is about having imposter syndrome, that type of thing, and also finding ways to get out of that mindset, and also just being able to realize that you do belong to be where you are, like whether that be work or college, obviously, or anything really and truly. You could be in a little small group and you could feel like you're an imposter, and then you need to realize that, like, no, I'm here because I need to be. And if you're religious, I'm here because God put me here, or anything like that. Like, is knowing that you have a place where you need to be, and it's not because you just got lucky. I mean, it could be you got lucky, but that's not the first thing and the first reason as to why you were even able to do it in the first place. And I think that was the thing that is the most important about that. But back to the self-motivation topic, another tip that they decided to give us was find your ideal work environment. Consider where you are most productive, such as the library, coffee shop, or just a quiet room at home. I would say that a good spot for me is normally anywhere that's not my room, because of course I have my console in there, and that is going to distract me 9 times out of 10. Once I'm out of my room and I'm sitting in a room, say in one of these buildings on campus, I can sit and go through an assignment and get it done really quickly. Not really quickly. I struggle a little bit, but at the end of the day, I will get at least one thing done, and I feel like that's always a good thing. So yeah, if you guys are able to find any place where you are able to get some stuff done, and you're like the most productive, you're able to get the most ideas and stuff like that, definitely go to that place and try your best to get those things done. obviously, going back to the first one, definitely take your time and like take it like by intervals, and also have breaks in between so that you're not solely working on it the entire time you're there, because your brain is going to get shot at that point. Another thing that it says is to reward yourself, and I believe this is definitely a really good thing. Use things you enjoy doing as rewards for completing difficult tasks. So normally when it comes to those type of things, what I do to reward myself, I kind of just, I don't know what I really do other than like play the game for a little bit. But I now that I'm seeing that that's like a good thing, I need to figure out exactly something that I do have a lot of joy in and reward myself with that once I get some stuff done, so that it will implore me to continue. Like even with this I'll say with this podcast is a task that I'm trying to stay on top of. And every single time that I come in this room and go ahead to actually record, I have a little tally mark on this board that's next to me. I have a tally mark saying exactly how many episodes I'm at, so that every time I come into this room, or every time it hits another Thursday, I know to come in here and write another tick down. And the more I do it, the more I'm like wanting that number to get way higher. And once it gets to a certain point, man, I'm going to be really happy, because I really want this podcast to be something really good. I want it to be a good outlet for me. I want it to be a good outlet for my friends that are listening. Shout out to every one of my friends that are listening, whether you're Jamil, Elijah, Sincere, Nas, whoever you are, even my homie Darius. I know that he listened to the first episode like a couple weeks ago. If you're listening to this, I really do appreciate y'all, because genuinely it's helping me realize that, like, okay, I'm doing good. Like even hearing somebody saying like, yeah, I enjoyed those podcast episodes. Like I appreciate it. But yeah, it's a rewarding feeling. And I feel like rewarding yourself during things that you are doing, that will allow you to try more and get more and more done. And the final thing, no, actually, I'm sorry. The next thing it says is to frame activities as progress. This can encourage compromise when resolving goal conflicts. And I believe that is pretty good. And I believe that really just means that, like, when you're doing something, even if it's like very small during that activity or that task that you're trying to do, it's still progress. You're still going out and you're being able to get some stuff done. It's not like you don't have anything. You could be trying to make an essay for something, right? And you feel like you haven't done anything, but at least you wrote that second paragraph. Because last time you was at the name and the heading, and you like had a title. You also have the ability to realize, wait, I did something else though. I actually put something else in there, and and I'm not still at that previous step. And I feel like that is exactly what that means. Like, regardless of what you're doing, you are making progress. Like me doing this podcast, like I'm going to keep trying to make examples. Me doing this podcast is giving me more progress in being able to speak. Public speaking and that type of thing, like being able to just articulate myself and understand that, okay, this is how I need to talk in order to keep people engaged with what I'm talking about. Whether or not they actually want to listen is it's whatever. But as long as I'm able to speak and actually give good information as to what I'm trying to say or what I'm trying to talk about, it's pretty good. And I'm very glad that I'm doing this podcast, because I've been told that that people are proud of me. Hearing it from my girlfriend is actually like the best thing. And she's just explaining to me that I'm making progress with this podcast, and I really do appreciate it. The last thing that it says, when faced with conflict goals, consider the trade-off between something good soon and something great later. And the bottom line of that is being patient. And that is actually the main reason why I wanted to come back onto this podcast and go ahead and explain this self-motivation thing, because I just need to be patient. Like when it comes to this type of thing, you just need to be patient with yourself. And self-motivation is something that you need to be patient with yourself about. Like, in order to start getting more stuff done, you need to get past the first steps. And once you get to those first steps, you very rarely feel good about those moments, because you feel like, oh my God, nothing is happening. I'm not doing anything. I feel like I'm still behind. And I'm saying this as somebody who, hey man, I'm an example. I am the main person that feels like they're way behind when it comes to everything else. Everybody got cars. Everybody got full on jobs that they're getting money from. And I feel constantly that I'm not doing what I need to be doing. And I feel like I should have done it like years ago, but I'm still making progress and doing other things. I'm still making progress being here and actually going on and graduating at some point, getting internships that I need to get, jobs that I need to get so that I can get into the field that I want. And in order for me to actually do that, I need to be patient with myself and actually go ahead and do what I need to do. You know what I mean? And I will definitely get all of those things done very soon. I just need to be patient, and you need to be patient with yourself as well. Like, if you're listening to this podcast right now, literally the best thing that you can do for yourself at this exact moment is give yourself grace and patience. Even though there's could be something going wrong in your life, you're at a crossroads, or you're like you're at a wall and you don't know how to break that wall. You need to be patient with yourself, figure out exactly what you may or may not need to do, and then break that wall, and you'll be able to get through it. And then you'll get to the next wall, and then the next wall. It's never going to stop. And in order for yourself to get on the other side of that wall, you got to be patient with yourself. And I feel like that's a really good thing to say. And, I'll just read this last little excerpt that they have on here. Self-motivation can be driven by internal or external factors. Intrinsic motivation comes from within, such as desire to achieve an effort and enjoy the rewards of your actions. External motivation comes from outside, such as desire for money, power, or status. And I actually want you guys to go ahead, and the poll, actually, I'll make this the poll. Go into the poll down below if you're able to find it. I don't know if like you're able to on PlayStation or whatever you're listening to, but on Spotify, there is going to be, if you scroll a little bit up, you'll be able to see, at least if you're doing this on your phone, you'll be able to see a poll, and you can tap one of those and answer the poll so that I can maybe go on to another episode and talk about the results that I found. But I want you guys to figure out, like, do you have that self-motivation? And also which type of self-motivation or motivation in general do you have? Are you the type of person that will be motivated because of, you just love the thrill of doing it, or you enjoy the rewards that you get out of it? Is that the thing that's driving you? Are you already able to just go ahead and do it without needing anything else? Or are you the type of person that, it's because I need the money, I want to be able to gain more success out of it, so status, or just becoming more powerful with what you are trying to achieve? And I hope that you guys can figure out which out of the two that you have, and just please look into yourself and understand like what you need in order to be motivated to do certain things. Me personally, I believe that I don't know if you can be in the middle, but I feel like I am. Like, I'm motivated to continue doing this podcast because I enjoy it. I enjoy it's not really the rewards of the actions. It's not really the reward of doing the podcast, but it's kind of like, I have a desire to make this podcast into a really good thing, and I'm going to try to do this as long as I can and enjoy it as much as I can. And I'm going to get more people onto this podcast. I'm going to get more talks I might even bring some of my friends on and just like have a good conversation about something. But I feel like I have that when it comes to that. And then like, just in order to succeed in my life and try to at least do something, I do have external motivation, because I just need some money, man. Like money makes the world go around. And that's like the main thing with this world that we're in right now, especially with the upcoming years with all these tariffs and shit that might be placed on our shit. But we're not here to talk about that type of stuff. But yeah, like I feel like that is how it works with me. I could be entirely wrong. I might need to just look into myself a little bit more, but I implore you guys to do the same. Like, I really hope that you guys can figure out which one you have and then be able to gain motivation to do some other things and be able to, you know what I mean? Do what you got to do, you know what I mean? And yeah, so that about wraps up really and truly what I wanted to talk about today. I kind of just wanted to throw a mirror to myself and kind of just try to figure out how to gain myself motivation, and maybe you guys can understand some of that too. I do want to do way more research on it and not just do like a quick Google search. Like I said, that's not really the greatest thing, but I mean, it's something, you know what I'm saying? Progress, like I said. And also another thing that actually I'll talk about for like a little bit is, and this is not sponsored whatsoever, but if you are listening, Notion, I would love a sponsorship. So I actually just started using an application called Notion. It's basically like a scheduling application, but you can really use it like a notes thing as well. I started using it because I wanted to figure out exactly what I wanted to do when it came to like my projects that I want to do, or just I don't know, explaining exactly what's going on in my mind. And I think that's what it was. It's just I wanted like a place to dump all of my mind thoughts, which is a weird way of phrasing that, but I wanted to figure out a way to get all my thoughts out on paper, quote unquote, and see what I'm thinking. And I started using Notion like maybe 3 days ago, and it's been pretty good. I actually started journaling, which is weird for me because I never started doing that, but I do have a journal now that I'm going to start writing in called Written in Prose, because that is my poetry name. And oh yeah, I just forgot. I haven't been putting any of the poetry things in these episodes. I might get on that, and next episode will be about poetry, because that's another way of outlet. That's another outlet that I have that I feel like would be really good for you guys to listen to, and just I don't know. But yeah, I started journaling. I have at this current moment I have 2 journal entries in here. I'm gonna have to make one for today, but yeah, for anyone who is trying to think of anything really and truly, like if you just have a lot on your mind, or you just have like a project that you have in mind or something like that, you can use Notion in order to be able to, I don't know, just get your thoughts out. And once again, this episode is not sponsored, but I'm also not big enough to get sponsored. So please, for the love of God, Notion, if you're listening, help a brother out. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. I have now spoken for a little bit of time. Sorry for taking up some of y'all time, but I appreciate anyone who's listening to this podcast right now. You guys are fantastic. I genuinely appreciate anyone who decided to click on this episode. You guys have been fantastic in listening to me ramble for 25 goddamn minutes. Y'all really wanted to listen to me? I appreciate it, man. And I hope that you guys continue to appreciate these episodes, because I love making them. I will be 1,000% honest on that one. So, you guys have a great night, great day, whenever you're listening. Actually, I just watched The Truman Show, so I guess I'll end off with this. If I don't see you, good morning, good evening, and good night. Peace.